Hello there, I'm Ben Davis, the author of The Private Blogger Joe Cowley, The Private Blogger Joe Cowley, Return of the Geek, The Private Blogger Joe Cowley, Welcome to Cringefest, Danny Dread, and Do Life, the creator of my £120 journey, shows how to run better, go farther and find happiness. Actually, I'm pretty sure that was some other bloke called Ben Davis. Anyway, this is a very special Q&A video. Last week I took questions from members of my Facebook page, the address of which, if I figure out how to do it properly, should be along the bottom of the screen now. Yeah, I think that's right. I've been taking questions from the lovely people on my Facebook page and I'm going to answer them in this video. And so without further ado, let's see question number 1. Yes, there will be a 4th book in the series. It's called Private Blogger Joe Cowley, Straight Out of Nerdsville, which is a reference to a rap song called Straight Out of Compton. And the book is about Joe, Harry and Ad forming their own hardcore gangster rap group. I got the initial inspiration for Joe Cowley actually when I was at work. I was a postman. I was making excellent use of my degree in English, and I was delivering mail to the house of this kid I kind of knew at school. And I noticed, just by being a little bit nosy and looking at the mail, that his dad now seemed to be in a relationship, judging by the names on the letters, with a woman with the same last name as one of the really bad school bullies. And I thought, oh, what if she's his mother, and what if they had to live together? Imagine having to share a house with your worst enemy, or maybe even a bedroom. And that was how the initial idea came about. And I wrote it down on one of those, those red cards we put through your door when we pretend to knock. I wrote it down on one of those, took it home and started writing from there. Besides that, I mean, the inspiration really came from my own childhood, how I was at that age. Joe is kind of like me, but dialed up to 11. He's a lot worse than I was, but there's some of me in there. And inspiration comes from lots of different places, doesn't it? It comes from real life, overheard conversations. There's a few overheard conversations in there. All things, films, TV shows, books. Yeah, as I mentioned before, Joe's kind of based on me. For legal reasons, I probably shouldn't admit that any of the characters are based on real people. However, I will say Harry and Ad are based on a few of my friends from school. I won't name them because that would be bad. Ad's actually a combination of 2 different people, and Harry. I never had a friend who smoked an empty pipe and called everyone old son. That actual catchphrase came from a guy I worked with. He would come up to me every day because, as I mentioned before, I was a postman, and he lived on that street that I was delivering to, and he came up to me and was, "You're right, old boy," every morning. It scared the crap out of me, and I just thought there's something in that, and so that's where Harry's catchphrase came from. No comment. This is a tough one. When I was a kid, it was obviously Roald Dahl, as everyone loves Roald Dahl. I loved reading Dick King-Smith, partly because his books are excellent, like The Sheep Pig and stuff like that. And partly because his name's Dick King, which is hilarious. When I grew up a bit, I really got into this guy called Kurt Vonnegut as an American writer. His books are they're often about real serious things, but he's written about in a very light-hearted way, with doodles and things. So that was possibly an influence on Joe Cowley. Some of his books are like Slaughterhouse-5, Breakfast of Champions, stuff like that. What other writers do I like? I like Zadie Smith. Loads. Sue Townsend. I didn't actually get into Adrian Mole until after I started writing Joe Cowley, because people said you should have a read, and that must have been a hell of an influence on me. Yeah, I'm sure there's loads more, but they're the ones that come to mind to begin with. Rhombus. Yeah, I have, but I didn't think I actually would. I just thought it was one of those pipe dreams, like, you know, playing up front for Man United or headlining Glastonbury. I just thought it was one of those things that's one of those daydreams. But no, it's lovely that I actually did it. You know, because I have no musical or athletic ability, so the other two were never going to happen. But I'm not. I suppose I'm not bad at writing. Well, it depends who you ask. Pretending to be Batman, mainly. I like to think I'm a charming mix of Joe and Mad Morris. It's a total coincidence. Thomaston is completely fictional. It is in no way based on my hometown of Tamworth. There is definitely not a real war bunker or meat van, and Woodlet is definitely not based on my old high school, Woodhouse High. Men's Domain is basically a parody of magazines like Men's Health and GQ that kind of like give you advice, like the modern man advice on how to live. And I'm kind of ashamed to admit it, but when I was Joe's age, I also used to consult a website like that. It was Men's something, I can't remember what it was, because I was so worried about doing stuff wrong that I would consult it for advice. So that's where the Men's Domain thing comes from in Joe Cowley. Right, now this is a tough one because my actual favourite film, I think, is not really suitable for under 18s. But, you know, you asked me, so I'm going to have to tell you. My favourite film is The Shining, it came out in about 1980. It's based off a Stephen King novel. It's just one of the great films. Jack Nicholson's in it. It's about this guy and his wife and kid, and they goes to look after this hotel in the middle of the snowy mountains in America, and it's completely empty, and he's like the caretaker for it, and he's there, and he's a writer, and he slowly goes mad, and he sees ghosts, and they tell him to kill his wife and son, and he chases them around with an axe. It's a lot better than I've made it sound. But yeah, that's one of my favourites. Also, slightly less cool, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The first one, not the one with Johnny Depp acting like Michael Jackson in it, that's rubbish. The first one, that's one of my favourites. And probably my favourite comedy film of all time would be this film, really old film, came out in 1933. It's a Marx Brothers film called Duck Soup. And I just think it's the best. It's got every type of comedy you could wish for in it. It's got slapstick, wordplay, satire. It's about Groucho's like the main brother. He's made president of this fictional country, and he's just a total idiot and takes them to war and just insults people. And it's just incredible. As I say, it's over 80 years old, so it is really old, but it's still hilarious. That's one of my favourites. Okay, well that was a Q&A. Thanks to everyone who sent in questions. I hope my answers were satisfactory. But now we've come to the most exciting part of the video. The part where I draw one of your names out of this mystery box to decide who will be receiving the signed copy of Welcome to Cringefest. Here we go. Can I get a drum roll, please? And the winner is my mum. Okay, let's try again. I've taken her out. And drum roll again. Thank you. And the winner is Emma Bourne. Congratulations, Emma Bourne. Sorry to everyone who didn't win, but you can always come and stalk me at any of the events I'm going to be at this year, and I will sign literally any book you want, any book you like. I don't even have to have written it. I've been told I do a good David Williams. Anyway, that's all from me. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.